So polynomials, section B3 polynomials, which is the standard form for polynomials, is going to be an x to the power n plus an minus 1 x to the power n minus 1, and keep going until a2 x squared plus a1 x, and you will see there is no exponent here. That means the exponent is 1 plus a0. This is the standard form for the polynomials. If they ask you to write down the polynomials in the standard form, that means you have to write down from the large exponents to the smallest exponents. an minus 1 until a1 called coefficients. a0 is the constant. a0 is the constant, which is that means the number by itself. It's going to be the constant. The degree of the polynomial always going to be the highest exponent. So when they ask you find the degree for this polynomial, that means the highest exponent. If the polynomial has more than one variable, be careful here, I'm going to give you an example. If the polynomial has more than one variable, that means the degree is the sum of the exponents. I'm going to show you an example for this note. The types of the polynomial, if you have one term, that means it's called monomial. Two terms, binomial. Three terms, it's called trinomial. Let's do some examples about polynomials. So if you have, here's an examples. If you have 5x squared plus 3x plus 3. So now, how many terms do we have? 1, 2, 3. That means these are 3 terms. This is polynomial. If they ask you the type of this polynomial is going to be trinomial. The degree of this polynomial, which is n equal the highest exponent 0. Here's exponent 1. The exponent here is 2. That means the degree for this polynomial is going to be 2. The leading coefficient, if they ask you about the leading coefficient, so where is the exponent, the highest exponent? This one. This is the degree, and this one is the leading coefficient. So the leading coefficient equal 5. The degree is the highest exponent. The leading coefficient is going to be 5. Now here's another example. If you have 3x squared y cubed plus 5x squared just y plus 6x squared y to the power 4. Also, this is polynomial, but if you check this one, we have 2 variables, more than one variable. That's the difference between this example and this one. We have here only one variable, x. Here we have xy. So in this case, if you need to find the degree for this polynomial, it's going to be, we're going to add the exponents. Here, 2 plus 3 is going to be 5. 2 plus 1 is going to be 3. 2 plus 4 is going to be 6. That means this is the highest exponent. So the degree n is going to be 6, and the leading coefficient is going to be equal 6. Here is the degree. We're going to add these 2 numbers. It's going to be 6, and this one is going to be the leading coefficient. So polynomial multiplication. We already took a rule which is really important. If you remember that if we have a to the exponent n times a to the exponent m, when you multiply the same base, different exponents, you're going to say a, add the exponents. always we're going to use this rule. So now, if you multiply 3x squared times 4x cubed, the result is going to be, we're going to multiply the numbers. 3 times 4 is going to be 12. Here's the variable. We're going to add the exponents. 2 plus 3 is going to be 5. We're not going to multiply the exponents. We're going to add the exponents because we always going to use this rule. Now let's go and do like polynomials, multiply polynomials. Here's an example. If we multiplying 3x squared minus 5x plus 1. That means we're going to distribute because we need to multiply this polynomial with this one. That means I have to multiply 3x times x squared. So first of all, I'm going to multiply 3 times 1 is going to be 3. Multiply the numbers. Here is the invisible one. 3 times 1 is going to be 3. X times x squared look like x times x squared. So I have to use this rule. Here's the exponent 1. That means it's going to be x. 1 plus 2 is going to be 3. I'm done from multiplying this term with this one. Then I'm going to multiply this one with the second one. 3 times negative 5 is going to be negative 15. X times x, x times x. I'm going to add the exponent, so it's going to be 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. It's going to be x squared. I'm done from multiplying this term with the second one. Now this term with the third one, 3x times 1 is going to be plus 3x, because I don't have variable here, so I'm just going to write down 3x. That's it, we're done. Let's do another example. Here's the first example, exactly the same thing. 3x, x squared minus 2x plus 1. Let's do the second one. The second one, y squared parentheses 4y squared plus 2y minus 2. Let's multiply. I'm multiplying this polynomial, which is binomial, because it's one term, with trinomial. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to multiply this one times this one. The first thing, I'm going to multiply the numbers. 1, the visible one, times 4 is going to be 4. Multiply the numbers, add the exponents. Multiply the numbers, add the exponents. So y, 2 plus 2 is going to be 4. Now 1 times 2 is going to be 2. Multiply the numbers, add the exponents. Here's the exponent 1. 2 plus 1 is going to be 3. Now 1 times negative 2 is going to be negative 2. There is no y here. I have to write down this one. Y squared. That's it. I'm done from this example. Let's do another example. Next example, negative 5z two z minus 1. So let's multiply this monomial or polynomial with this one. Multiply the numbers. Negative 5 times 2 is going to be negative 10. Here is the z. I'm going to add the exponent. 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. Multiply the numbers, add the exponents. Now I'm going to multiply this with the second term. Negative 5 times negative 1 is going to be positive 5. 5, here is the 5. Z, there is no z here, so I'm going to write down. That's it for this example. Let's multiply There's another one. Exactly the same thing. Don't confuse yourself if you have like this part. So you're going to do the opposite thing. 1.5 t squared plus 5. You're going to multiply it by negative 5t. You're going to do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to multiply this one times this one, then this one times this one. And if you flip it, it's going to be right. Like, for example, you can write down this as negative 5t. I'm going to multiply it by 1.5 t squared plus 5. It's going to be exactly the same result. But be careful here. They're telling you perform the operation and write the result in the standard form. Standard form, that means you have to write down the polynomial from the large exponent to the lowest one. So let's multiply. I'm going to say negative 5 times 1.5 is going to be negative 7.5. Add the exponents. 2 plus 1 is going to be 3. Plus 5 times negative 5 is going to be minus 25. There is no t here, so I have to write down this t. Now, if you look at this one, it's already written from the large exponent to the lowest one, to the smallest one. That means this is the standard form. In case if you got like this one, negative 25t minus 7.5 t cubed. This is the right solution, but they ask you to write down in the standard form. So you have to say, okay, it's negative 7.5 t cubed. You have to flip it. Minus 25t. And be careful when you flip it, be careful from the sign. Do not change the sign. That's it for this example. Let's keep going. Here's the next example, example 6. How are we going to multiply two binomials? If you have (9x minus 2) and the next one is 8x plus 1. Let's try how to multiply these two binomials. Exactly the same thing. We're going to start from 9x. We're going to distribute 9x to the second binomial. Then we're going to go back to distribute -2 on the second one. This is called FOIL method. So I'm going to say 9x times 8x. Multiply the numbers. So 9 times 8 is going to be 72. Add the exponents. 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. So be x squared. Then I'm going to say 9x times the second one. It's 1, so 9x times 1 is going to be 9x. I'm done from this part. Now, we're going to go to the second part, distribute -2 on this polynomial or binomial. So -2 times 8 is going to be -16. There is no x here, so it's going to be -16x. -2 times the second part, so -2. So we're done from distributing these two numbers. Now, the next part, we have to combine the like terms. How are we going to combine the like terms? Where is the like terms? This one is similar to this one. You have to combine these together. So the final result is going to be 72 x squared. 9 minus 16 is going to be minus 7x minus 2. That's it. And if you check, it's already written in the standard form because the exponent here 2, the exponent here is 1, the exponent here is 0. So this is the standard form for this example. There's another question we're going to solve. This is the same thing. Let's make it. Let's do this one. I multiply 4x minus 2 times 3x minus 6. 3x minus 6. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. First of all, we're going to multiply 4x with these two terms. So 4x times 3x, 4 times 3 is going to be 12. Multiply the numbers, add the exponents. Here is the x. 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. 4x times negative 6, 4 times negative 6 is going to be negative 24. There is no x here, so here is the x. Now we're done from the first part. Now we're going to distribute negative 2. Negative 2 times 3 is going to be negative 6. There is no x here, so I'm going to write down this x. Then negative 2 times negative 6, negative times negative is going to be positive. 2 times 6 is going to be 12. Next step, I'm going to combine the like terms. So it's going to be 12 x squared. Negative 24 minus 6 is going to be negative 30. X is plus 12. That's it for this example. It's already written in the standard form. Here is squared, here is 1, and here is 0. That's it for this example. Next one. If you have questions about this one, you can ask. Next one, we're going to multiply 3 terms by 3 terms. Let's do this one. Let's do this one. Have any questions you can ask before we move on to the next one. So now we're going to multiply x squared minus x plus 4 times x squared plus x.
I do have a question.
Yes.
How many times do we have to do this on homework?
I think that these exactly the same homework. You have 15 questions.
I mean, I'm sorry. How many times can we do the problem? Like if we got it wrong, we need to do it.
I think like more than one time.
Okay.
Yeah, like 4 times.
So I
5
think
times.
you have to. I did do the homework, but the way this is formatted, I don't think it gives you the answer after each one. You have to submit it. So after you submit it, do you have a chance? You have to do it all over again?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can do like just where is the wrong questions? Go ahead and redo it again.
Okay. Okay.
So we're working on this one. Yes, so 100 times, like I think 100 times, yeah. X squared plus x plus 1. So now let's work on this one. You're going to do exactly the same thing. x squared times x squared. Here is the first. With this one, you multiply this 3 terms by 3 terms. So you can start from the first one. X squared times x squared. Multiply 1 times 1 is going to be 1. 2 plus 2 is going to be 4. Now x squared times x, the second one. The same thing is going to be plus x, because 1 times 1 is going to be 1. 2 plus 1 is going to be 3. Then x squared times 1 is going to be x squared. We're done from the first part. Let's keep going. Now with the second one, negative x times x squared is going to be negative x. 1 plus 2 is going to be 3. Now negative x times positive x, so it's going to be negative x. 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. Negative x times 1 is going to be negative x. We're done from the second one. Let's go to the third one. 4 times x squared, so it's going to be plus 4x squared. 4 times x plus 4x. And 4 times 1 is going to be 4. Now the next part, you have to combine the like terms. This is an important step. Here is x to the power 4. So here is x cubed. Here is x cubed. And if you look, no more x cubed. 1 minus 1 is going to be 0. That means this one is going to be cancelled with this. We're done from this one. Let's go. X squared, here is 1. And here is 2. You see, I put 2 lines. And here is 3. So 1 minus 1 is going to be 0. That means this one with this one is 0. The left is going to be just 4x squared. Now with the term x, we have negative x and we have 4x. So 1, negative 1 plus 4 is going to be positive 3x. And the last term is the number by itself, so it's going to be 4. It's already written in the standard form from the large exponent to the smallest one. That's it for this example. One more thing, which is also important part, if you have example like this one, let's do this one. You're going to do exactly the same thing. So if you have 5 minus 9x squared, check the squared on all the parentheses. That means this one is what? This one is 5 minus 9x times 5 minus 9x. The parentheses multiply by itself twice, and you're going to multiply the rest exactly the same thing like this example. You're going to FOIL it. If you have 3, that means it's going to be 3 parentheses. If you have 4, that means it's going to be 4 parentheses. You're going to do the same thing. Multiply first 2 parentheses, and the result you're going to multiply with the third one. Depends about how many parentheses do you have. So for this example, we have only squared, so it's going to be 2 parentheses. Then I'm going to say 5 times 5 is going to be 25. 5 times 9x, so it's going to be minus 45x. Negative 9x times 5 is going to be minus 45x. Now negative 9 times negative 9 is going to be positive 81. And here is 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. Now then the result is going to be combining the like terms. So it's going to be 25 minus 90x plus, so this is 81. a1x. And here's plus a1 x squared. Then this is not in the standard form. To write down in the standard form, that means I have to write down the large exponents first. So maybe a1 x squared minus 90x plus 25. That's it. So this is simple. This is only if they ask you to write down in standard form. If you keep it like this is also right solution. That's it. This example is not on the assignment. If you multiply x plus 9, x minus 9. So you can do the same thing. You're going to FOIL these two parentheses. So x times x, it's been 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. It's going to be x squared. X times negative 9 is going to be negative 9x. 9 times x is going to be positive 9x. And 9 times negative 9 is going to be minus 81. The next step, if you're combining these two terms, 9x, negative 9x, and positive 9x is going to be 0. That means the result is going to be x squared minus 81. That's it on this example.